It's Ash from Super Videos, back for another video for the Walking Dead universe. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at a potential story plot when it comes to the Daryl Dixon spin-off show, some sort of a rescue mission. In this video, we're specifically going to be looking at some rumors that Rick Grimes will be showing up in the Daryl Dixon spinoff, and that's because of a recent picture with Andrew Lincoln, who of course plays Rick, in France, and that's obviously significant because we know that the Daryl Dixon show will be in France. So the big theory that we're going to be discussing in this video is whether Daryl will be rescued by Rick Grimes. So stay tuned, we'll be right back to break it all down. Alright, as always, before we dive into this, smash the like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. With that said, let's dive right into it. So of course, like I said, we do know that the Daryl Dixon spinoff will be set in France, Europe, and that's obviously pretty significant as well because that ties in directly with some of the things that we saw in the post-credit scene of the series finale of the Walking Dead spin-off World Beyond, where we actually saw a scientist in France and she was actually looking at tapes from Dr. Edwin Jenner, and she was murdered by someone who appeared to either be in some sort of a military or have some military background. Now, this is the picture on the left that we have with Andrew Lincoln in France. That was actually a picture with a fan. I cropped out the fan in this picture, but this is a picture of him recently in France. Now, obviously, one way to look at this is that he's just there for vacation or some other project, and this has nothing to do with The Walking Dead. But obviously, the other side of things is that this is connected in some way, and he's there to shoot some stuff for The Walking Dead. And if that's true, there's also two potential ways that this could go. Obviously, we do know that the Daryl Dixon spinoff is in France, so that's the more likely project for Andrew Lincoln to be working on in France. But that's not the only possibility because we do know that the spinoff with Michonne and Rick is also going to be ramping up here real quick. So maybe they're doing some filming for that. But like I said, it's more likely that Andrew Lincoln is there specifically to do some stuff for The Walking Dead spin-off with Daryl Dixon. Now, this is also extremely interesting because that brings up the possibility that we're going to see some sort of a rescue mission. We might see a scenario where Rick is there to rescue Daryl Dixon, who's been captured. We also know that this will happen. It was pretty much officially revealed that Daryl Dixon is going to wake up in France and he's going to be finding himself in a foreign place without knowing how he got there. So he's going to end up in France unwillingly. So it's obviously a possibility that the person that's going to rescue Daryl will be Rick himself. And that's obviously very interesting because up until this point, we thought it would be flipped. We thought, or I should say many fans thought, that it would be Daryl and some others coming to Rick's rescue. So it looks like there's going to be some sort of a twist where it's going to be the opposite of what we are expecting. But basically, my theory is that Daryl is going to be rescued by Rick, but I don't think that's going to happen right away. I think that the actual rescue mission that I talked about will happen at the end of the Daryl Dixon spinoff. The other part of it is we don't know necessarily whether the Daryl Dixon spinoff is a limited series or whether it's going to be ongoing. That's also another thing to keep in mind. Now, even if Andrew Lincoln is there to film stuff for the Daryl Dixon spinoff, it doesn't mean he's going to appear right away. They could be shooting these things earlier because Andrew Lincoln is free and he has the time to do it, because obviously there's tons of other projects that he's involved in, Walking Dead and non-Walking Dead. So obviously the Walking Dead spinoff with Michonne is going to take up a lot of his time. So I think that before they start on that, they might want to have him kind of do what he needs to do for the Daryl spinoff first. So even if he's there to shoot some stuff for the Daryl Dixon spinoff, that doesn't mean he's going to appear right away. He might appear in the second or third season if it goes that long. The biggest thing that really comes out of this is that the Daryl Dixon spinoff, which is going to be in France, is going to be involving Rick Grimes in some way, shape, or form. Now, we don't know the extent of it. Like I said, he could be there just near the end, or he could be there for a longer period of time. But then at the same time, if that happens, then it's not really a Daryl Dixon spinoff. You know what I mean? So I feel like the way things are shaping up with the Michonne and Rick thing, and with the Negan and Maggie thing, it's less likely for Rick to be involved in the Daryl Dixon spinoff as much as you would think. But I do think he's going to have some involvement. But that's pretty much everything that I wanted to talk about. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video.